Here's a question almost nobody who buys packaging ever asks, and it's the one that costs them the most when they finally do. How many companies could actually make the specialized packaging your company buys? Not how many salespeople are in your inbox. How many could truly supply what your company needs at your volume, to your spec? If your current source raised prices next quarter or ran short next month, who else could actually step in? For a lot of specialized packaging, the honest answer is two. Sometimes it's only one. I've spent 35 years in this industry, and I've watched that one fact quietly cost buyers and decision makers more money than almost anything else on their P&L. So let me walk you through it, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So here's why this never feels like a problem until the day it is one. Does not show up on a quote. The product shows up, the line runs, the invoice gets paid, everything looks fine. The exposure is completely invisible right up until the moment you need another option and you go looking for one that just isn't there. That's the one moment buyers learn the difference between having vendors and having leverage. A crowded inbox is not leverage. A real qualified alternative is leverage, and most buyers have never built one. So what does a concentrated market actually cost you? Three things, and none of them show up on your invoice. The first is price. When there are only two real options and switching between them is slow and expensive, neither one has much reason to sharpen their pencil. And here's the part that gets me. They are not gouging you. They don't have to. The structure does it for them. You call it the market rate. It's not the market rate. It's the price two companies can hold because you have nowhere else to go. The second is lead time. When demand spikes or one of those plants has a bad month, you're standing in line behind everyone else who also has nowhere else to go. Your production schedule stops being a function of your forecast and starts being a function of their capacity. The third is the space or the pace of everything else. Innovation, format changes, sustainability. All of it moves on the incumbent's timeline because the incumbents are the only ones who can actually move it. Let me make this concrete. Take Aseptic bag and box. The North American supply base for that product is essentially two companies, and that's it. And most buyers in that category have never once stopped to count because the product has always shown up and the line has always run. But that is exactly the kind of concentration that costs the most because nobody plans for a risk they have never named. So if I were sitting in the buyer's chair or the decision maker's chair, here is what I would do. Three things. Number one, I would find out my real switching cost before I ever needed to know it. Not the price difference, the full cost. Requalification, line trials, samples, downtime, the spec work. Most buyers have never run that number, which means every single year they negotiate from a position that they've never actually measured. Number two, I would qualify a second source while I still had some leverage. Not in the middle of a crisis. The time to build an option is when you do not need it, because the buyer and decision maker who starts looking after the price increase lands has already lost negotiation. Number three, I would never let a contract renewal be the moment I find out I have no alternatives. That's the single most expensive way to learn this issue. Now, I want to be clear about something, because this is not a hit piece. This is not the supplier's fault. The companies in these concentrated markets are actually very good at what they do, and they earn their position. The risk is not the company. The risk is a market with only a couple of them and a buyer who never planned for it. Any company sitting on structural leverage is going to use it. That's just business. The only real question is whether you're doing anything about being on the other side of this. Because here's what 35 years has taught me. It was never about price. It was always whether you had a choice. I wrote up a full breakdown of the Aseptic bag and box market, both suppliers, who actually separates them, what actually separates them, and where each one wins. It's a neutral, side-by-side conversation and version. The link is in the description. Go ahead and read it for your next renewal, not after. I'm David Marinac. Thank you for watching. As always, check out playlists and other combinations of articles where we can help you along this path. Share it, please, and link. Thank you.